So I guess the fact of the matter is that to steelman the issue, right? So if you're a parent watching, for example, they may say, the online safety bill can be a positive because I'm not aware of what my children are doing online. They may be, led down the wrong path. Does the online safety bill have anything to do with any of that? I mean, is there some sort of steel manning where you can actually say, okay, there is some purpose to this? Is there something that you would like to, I think, maybe there is, maybe there isn't? What do you think?
So I think if we were to say that the online safety bill is a good thing when it comes to the protection of children, protection of women, because that was one of the arguments that was
child
floating
pornography,
around, right? A lot of the current law does that job. And if the real purpose of legal reform was to strengthen that regime, that could have been done. Then you look at the current penal code provisions, you look at the current framework to protect children from abuse and exploitation, you focus on that and improve it. To have this massive legal regime of which you might have 2% dedicated to this issue and then say this is all about that issue is completely insincere, because the online safety bill might have one specific provision that deals with this. That doesn't make the entirety of the bill palatable. If you are concerned about women and children, which is a great thing to be concerned about, look at the legal regime and strengthen it. And again, listen to the voices that have been working on this for many years, because many of those voices are not asking for legal reform. They're asking for institutional reform. They're asking for the ability for a woman to go into a police station today and make a complaint about sexual harassment without feeling fear and without feeling like there could be a reprisal or being taken seriously. These are institutional reform issues, not legal reform issues. So I think it's an insincere thing to do to promote women and children being safer as the main purpose behind the bill, when the bill has 98% of other things that have nothing to do with women and children.
In your personal experience, Dr. Gehan, there seems to be an education gap because, I mean, even us, I grew up in a period time before the internet, right? So in the past, you would go to, let's say, a comment section below a post and then see what everyone's saying, just kind of ascertain whether this is true, whether there's some, whether it's completely false, etc. So is there, like, for example, I don't know if the national curriculum has anything to do with civics and ethics, for instance, but should there not be something in the education system where we bring on sort of skills to children about how to go through something online, what to, how to figure out what's right and what's not? I mean, for example, Twitter has community rules, right? So is there something that we should be proposing through our education system as well? Because there's surely some incentive on the side of the system and on the side of the user to protect themselves with better information. So how would you advise on that?
So digital literacy is, I think, a great alternative. Not that it will solve the problem overnight, but a great alternative to a criminal law response, right? So if the government today was to say, look, there is a problem in the online spaces when it comes to children being exposed to content that is harmful, and we want to launch this digital literacy program. And we want to involve necessary expertise, people who have worked on this issue for many, many years, who are not necessarily in government, but in civil society, in the NGO space. We want to involve them and we want to get their expertise as well. We want to have independent institutions guiding us as well. And we're going to launch this program and we're going to deal with this issue because we want to actually make our online spaces safer for children. I mean, I'll be the first to support that. I think that's a great alternative to having a criminal law response, because the moment you have a criminal law response, you're at the mercy of institutions that in the past have not shown enough rigor in terms of applying elements of offenses in a good faith manner, right? So then you run into the same risk of a new law being used in a way that is not, in keeping with the words of that particular provision or in keeping with the purpose behind the law, right? And that's what has happened with the ICCPR Act. And that was the concern that the Human Rights Commission expressed the moment the Online Safety Bill was gazetted, right? We didn't just engage with the provisions of the law. The prefacing sort of content, the paragraphs, was that don't go ahead with this at all, even if you have a perfect law, even if it's modeled on the best international standards, because you have an institutional problem that requires attention. Deal with that problem, improve your institutions, build public trust in your institutions, and then we can talk about new laws.
Right.